All right. Well, I got whiskey, so let's do it.
Hello and welcome to the Right Can't Read. My name is Robert Sharkey, and I am joined today by Manosphere influencers Aaron T-Bone Simon and Rachel the Commodore Sinkowski. So, as influential Manosphere figures, what would you guys give as advice for aspiring young sociopaths hoping to get into the Twitch game?
The only game you got to worry about playing, and you can't play it on Twitch anymore because of the woke liberal media, is the pickup game.
Oh,
Am I
God.
right? And the woke libs won't let you play it, so you got to default some good shit like COD. And if you watch my streams sponsored by Ultra Beef Jerky Chips Extreme, you can learn how to play COD. You'll get your KD ratios through the fucking roof, bro.
I hate
Through
this
the
bit already.
fucking roof.
I'm so
You
sorry.
had that ready. It
Yeah.
was ready to go.
That little moment of this was charging up for it.
I hate this bit, and I
well,
apologize.
That was fantastic.
I credit Dave Bautista and
Nice.
my nephew several years ago for inspiration for that one. Dave Bautista did a great for in Glass Onion.
He was really good in Glass Onion.
Yeah.
When Dave Bautista did a really good job in that movie is not something I expected to say in my life.
No,
For sure.
I might actually go see a new M. Night Shyamalan movie because he's like the lead antagonist in it. And
Smash cut back to 2005, telling Aaron that he's going to see a Shyamalan movie because Dave Bautista starred.
Well, I like Bautista. He seems like a nice dude, and
he also has this great interview where he has a tattoo from a friend who he then found out was homophobic, and he's like, and then I got the tattoo covered up because fuck that guy, and I don't talk to him anymore. I was like, worse.
Yeah.
Nice dude, and I don't think The Rock is gonna say anything like that because
no, too scared of.
He seems like he's just trying to engineer everything about himself to appeal to everyone.
Yeah, that is his bit.
That is my cultural analysis.
So, speaking of cultural analysis, this is not actually a Manosphere podcast. This is The Right Can't Read, a podcast about how the right influences art and culture, and then just takes whatever.
And we say no, don't do that.
We say stop, please.
Please stop.
Leave me my stuff.
Yeah. Let me enjoy the thing that I like, please.
Yeah. Today, we are not doing a normal scripted 3-hour dive into sadness and insanity because I started writing an episode on first-person shooters and have gone sad and insane.
So that's to be continued at some point. I'm not letting you off the hook for that one. We are putting that out, and that poison is getting released.
When I started looking up the way the military
we've already got
with Mountain Dew, I was like, I can't do this.
Oh boy, did you start reading into Arma? Arma is, I don't know if it's still active. It was an army produced first person shooter.
No.
That was supposed to be used as a recruitment tool.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, so you gotta throw that into your research docket there, Shark. Yeah.
Kill me.
Wait, sorry, Shark. Can you repeat what you said? Something in Mountain Dew? I blacked out, I guess.
Yeah, that's a great choice. Just the way the US military contracts with first person shooters and other ad things like the NFL to promote killing people in Afghanistan is just It makes me, speaking of Top Gun Maverick earlier,
Yeah.
it just makes me so fucking blindly rageful.
Mhm.
So
So
I
you
thought,
needed a bit of a break.
yeah, so I thought as a break instead, we talk about two of my favorite people on the internet right now. Do you ever get
Is
those,
one
like, what?
nothing I was gonna guess, but please go
Guess,
ahead.
please guess.
I thought Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate's good. I thought about it. He has been beaten to death, though. Everyone's got an Andrew Tate
Yeah.
take right now.
Alex Jones,
No,
Benny Shaps.
no.
Oh,
Think we'll start with one that is like incredibly mainstream, and then we'll go to one that's only for Twitter people.
who's the dude who's in the New York Times? Matt Walsh.
No, the name you're looking for today is the story. Like sometimes these stories come on the news, and like I just get to be so smug with the boomers in my life. Like I've said for years.
Oh, I know who you're gonna be talking about.
Everyone in Congress is a crooked fuck. And if you just lie it as much as possible, you could become a congressman overnight. And I have just been taking a victory lap, Michael Jordan dunking on everyone over 40 in my life. This is the story of the American dream as represented by George Santos.
Yeah.
George Santos. Every time I see a new headline about him, I think one of two things. The first one is, oh, this is a Three Stooges bit, or two, oh, it's Always Sunny in Philadelphia bit.
Not days before the Santos story broke, I was telling my father-in-law that you could become a congressperson by just lying about everything you possibly could and then not letting them fact check you fast enough. And I had to admit I was wrong, because the second part, you can still get elected, even if they have years. So I would like to start by going through the George Santos story. What do you guys know about it so far?
Rachel, you kick us off.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know how he kind of became like more well known, and like how he got his seat and all that. I've just been following since, I think, like the stuff about his birth certificate in Brazil, or he had the passport in Brazil, like he was living there for a while, and then the whole drag thing. So I'm caught up with like the recent stuff, but like not the more historical stuff. What about you, Aaron?
So my understanding of George Santos, and I apologize because I've been ingesting this stuff like cocaine. You ingest cocaine, right? You ingest cocaine.
Yeah, you just eat big spoonfuls out of a bowl.
It's like cereal, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So he was trying to run for office in, I think it was the 2020 cycle.
Yes.
And it went nowhere because he didn't appeal to anyone. So he kind of retreated into a shell and then hatched out as this horrible monstrosity.
Or beautiful butterfly, depending on what you prefer.
Yeah. And in like some of my favorite highlights are he's claimed that I think his grandmother escaped Germany because she was Jewish and fled to Brazil. This was, of course, false. His family had been in Brazil for generations. And he then claimed that she died on 9/11, which is false. She died in 2014. He also claimed like he had shattered both of his legs for some reason, which is a lie. He stole a Burberry scarf to wear at some event from a roommate he had at the time. He may be wanted in Brazil. I'm not sure where this is going, but he may be wanted in Brazil for fraudulent check cashes of like a minuscule amount, like $700.
Yep, it's fucking incredible.
And there's much more. Those are the ones that just pop into my head.
Yeah, so Santos's big break was that he spoke at the rally in DC right before they stormed the fucking Capitol.
Oh wow, okay. Nice. Way to see.
Yeah.
Good time.
Hell yeah.
It was great. So then he did his second campaign for Congress in New York's 3rd. On his campaign website, it says that he graduated from Baruch College,
Yeah.
where he was a star volleyball player.
And like, he's claimed multiple colleges, right?
Which is a hilarious lie.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was like he's one of these, oh yeah, I'm a great athlete. I've done everything.
But also, like, if you're gonna claim you graduated from a college you didn't graduate from, or that you were a star volleyball player, why would you not like either go somewhere reputable for volleyball or like a top tier college?
Well, all right. So I think for the volleyball thing, like if you a liar say all right, let's use football for example. Like if I a liar,
Aaron couldn't think of any great volleyball schools.
Yeah, I have no idea what volleyball schools there are. Probably they're all in Florida and trash. So if you are a football person and you say, yeah, I used to be a great star football player at UT Austin, people are going to know that offhand.
Yeah.
But if like you go with, yeah, I was a star football player at University of Tennessee, Chattanooga, like people aren't going to bother to look that up.
They're going to be like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
That's fair.
As for the school, I mean,
I don't fucking know what Baruch College is. So
yeah, I don't know. It seems like it would be easier to look up a lie for a smaller university than it would a larger.
That's what I was thinking, especially a men's volleyball team. Like, there's not a lot of people on the team, and like I'm sure it's like public knowledge of like what year he claims to have went. So it's like not hard to do a quick Google.
Yeah. And it's like Musk did this shit too, where he was like claiming to have multiple degrees and he didn't finish his graduate degree. And there's like questions about how well he actually did if he completed his bachelor's. They just fucking lie.
Yeah.
It's the audacity. Like, just it's knows no bounds.
I know Al Franken made some horrible mistakes and continues to make horrible mistakes to this day. But his book, Lies and the Lying Liars Who Tell Them, is a great title, if nothing else.
Of course you've read that book.
That was years ago. That was
the best part of his lie about the volleyball team is that he claimed that he needed knee replacements after his collegiate volleyball career.
That was it. It was knee replacements.
This is super funny. Like he was playing fucking lineman.
Yeah. Well, Shark, I think you fail to realize that when you're playing there's jumping.
Yeah.
And that wear and tear on those knees, buddy.
Real high impact game, volleyball.
High impact game. It's like biking where no one feasibly can go more than 10 miles.
Yeah, absolutely not.
No.
Volleyball, famously not the game you play super drunk with your friends on a beach.
Or a highlight. It all comes back to Top Gun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The hot, sweaty body of a young Tom Cruise. Oh, yep. And so after he was a collegiate volleyball star at Baruch College, he claimed that he works as an associate asset manager for Citigroup and Goldman.
Yep.
Neither of which he did.
Yep.
Which is incredible.
Have those companies come out and said that he didn't work for them?
I think
like,
so.
why are people like not saying that this is not true? You know what I mean? Like
people are, but it just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like the companies or like the schools involved, like the people who he mentions.
The brilliance of George Santos is that he has lied about so many things that I can't even be bothered to check all of the things that have been like verified as lies.
It is the new electoral strategy for the 21st century. Yes. Just put out so much bullshit that your opponent cannot feasibly counter.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah.
He then claimed that he had 11 million in assets.
Yep.
Which he absolutely did not.
No, I think this was around the time where he was actually like living with one dude and he was constantly mooching off of the guy.
I was going to say, if he's borrowing someone's Burberry scarf, then you don't got 11 mil.
I've
got a good friend from my text from a friend about this. Continue, Shark. I'll pull this up.
Not pulling it up that quickly.
We trade a lot of bullshit back and forth, so I gotta.
Before he lied about Baruch, you see, I already fucked up. I already skipped the timeline. He also lied about where he went to high school for a minute.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
How do you even lie about? Okay.
I think like this was also like lying about his assets was around the time this was a news story that broke earlier this week where like he stole money from a GoFundMe account to raise money for two homeless veterans. Yeah, two homeless veterans had a pit bull and he stole their money. So
it's just like a cartoon villain thing to do.
Yeah. My friend says he's certainly less competent, but I can't decide if he's more or less dishonest than the average politician. Hang the petty thieves, elect the great ones to office. Maybe we've accidentally elected a petty thief, and that's what's so jarring.
Yeah, exactly. Couldn't have said it better myself.
But there's more.
Oh, yes. My other favorite lie of his is that, and it works in the timeline, his mother died in 9/11. So to understand how his mother died in 9/11, you first have to address another lie, which is that his mother was the first female executive at a major financial institution, which she was not. And that financial institution was located in the South Tower. It's fucking awesome. And then after that, he was like, no, she didn't die in 9/11. She died of cancer a few years later. Oh.
So,
but she did not. She died 15 years after 9/11.
And wait, so did she actually die of cancer? Or is
let me check.
I mean, that's awful.
He's just it's Trump, but more.
It's fucking awesome.
So much more.
There's a great quote from his roommate that he had stolen the scarf from. I kind of assumed he has made up about going to Baruch and NYU, but then I thought, well, maybe I was wrong, after the election, because I'm sure the DCCC and RNC would have investigated him. And at least his opponent would have done some opposition research. He added, I don't understand. Did he go one by one to everyone in his district and just literally pull the wool over their eyes? It's just flabbergasting.
It's fucking incredible. Oh.
So I didn't know the volleyball thing was at Baruch.
Yeah. Star Baruch College volleyball player.
It keeps trying to like what's the phrase stolen valor? Yeah. I guess for like Jewish stuff it would be stolen gefilte fish.
Oh, it's so bad.
It's just bad.
And then my favorite lie about his okay, so Goldman did say that he never worked there, and Citigroup said that he never worked there, so they both said he never worked there.
Okay, nice.
To which Santos' response was that he embellished his resume.
It's the same thing as using like more corporate jargon than you actually have experience for in your resume. Same thing.
As someone who is a strong proponent of lying on your resume.
Wait, does that mean that his resume is also just made up of lies? So like everything everywhere in all documents is just made up of lies?
That is in fact what it looks like about George Santos.
That's fucking wild.
Rachel, you might say everything everywhere all at once is a lie.
Like
movie jokes.
The fact that someone can get away with just the gross amount is staggering.
And he ran twice over the course of 3 years.
Yep. Because people just want to hear what they want to hear, and they're gonna throw the votes. And it points to the DNC being completely horrible and inept at running elections
Yeah,
for
it's not like
anything.
he's running in like rural Nebraska. He's running for
No.
second in New York. It's like one
Yeah.
of the most populated districts
Yeah.
in the country.
Yeah. And they just fucked it and
Yeah.
let this guy get into office. And what I love about him is every time you see him, it's like Homer Simpson trying to recede into the hedges.
Wait, did you see the video of him walking down the hall and he went and it was a dead end and he had to turn around? And all the press was following him and then they all had to turn around. It was great.
Fucking incredible. Oh,
And isn't he gonna get on some House committees now? Because
absolutely.
yeah,
Oh my God.
I forget which one it's on. It's probably not ethics. I'll say that.
Yeah, veteran affairs or something. Just start siphoning more money from the VA.
Kill more dogs.
Kill more dogs. I'm gonna start a program to protect veterans' dogs. I'm just take all that money.
He's on the Committee on Small Business and the Committee on Science, Space, and Technology.
Oh,
Good,
yes.
good. That's just what that committee needed, you know.
Hell yes.
It's
if
fucking awesome.
Rachel, I'm gonna take a guess and say that you haven't played this game, but Shark, have you played Fallout New Vegas?
Absolutely.
All right,
he
you
is
know
a character from it.
He is fantastic from Helios 1, where you go in and the guy is this idiot and a charlatan who's pretending to be a theoretical physicist. And
Incredible.
you can ask him, like, how did you get the job? And he was like, the NCR came to my door and asked if I had a degree in theoretical physics. I said, I have a theoretical degree in physics. And they asked me how much I know about solar power. I said, more than anyone else I know. And they gave me the job on the spot. That's George Santos.
That's how you get into Congress,
Soros.
George Soros.
Yeah.
That's how you get into Congress.
That's how you get into Congress. You be fantastic from Fallout New Vegas. And the best thing about that is in the adjacent room is there's a dude who is actually a scientist who works for an anarchist organization.
Yeah.
And he's like desperately trying to clean up this guy's mess.
Yeah. Much like how I'm sure there's a guy in a room adjacent to George Soros. George Santos. Fuck, you got it to me now, Aaron. Adjacent to George Santos, trying to like explain to him what space is and just losing his fucking mind. Oh.
Eventually that person's gonna give up and just play Star Wars over and over again.
Yeah. The final frontier. Yeah. So now there are two segments of George Santos lies. What we've talked about so far is like the career-based, understandable politician lies that I assume they all do, like when Joe Biden said that a drunk driver killed his wife to make himself more appealing to voters, when a drunk driver did not kill his wife.
I don't remember that. Oh
Yeah, he said the guy
When was that?
In, I think, the 70s, he said the guy who killed his wife and daughter in a vehicular accident was drunk, and he was not. And Joe Biden has never owned up to that fact.
All right, that's weird.
You don't love to see it. Yeah. So, like, we all tell those lies to become president, obviously. We could all forgive George Santos if it was just fake Goldman and his mom dying on 9/11. Oh, but then there's the jump to like truly deranged lies, which makes it the best story available in the world right now. Aaron already alluded to my next favorite, which is that he ran a charity that saved thousands of dogs.
Yep. His regular St. Francis over here. Being a champion to all animals.
So fucking good.
God, it's just like you hear all this shit, and Steven Seagal is on my mind because I was talking to a Tibetan Buddhist the other day, and I'm like, how can you treat this branch of Buddhism with any respect when Steven Seagal is seen as a reincarnation of a holy man? But like,
wait, what is he?
I didn't know that. Yeah,
No.
yeah, he was recognized, I don't remember when, as like a reincarnation of a 16th century clergyman in the Tibetan hierarchy.
Christ.
And because of that, he got some status. I don't know if it's Rinpoche, but it's like someone who has respect within the Tibetan Buddhist hierarchy.
Nice.
And when this happened, people like what's his name? The one of the Hollywood actors who was really into Tibetan, Richard Gere, maybe, I don't know. Someone was like enraged. He was like, "How could you be this corrupt?" And that, from what I understand, the Tibetan Buddhist hierarchy's response was, "This is correct. He is the reincarnation. Deal with it."
Jesus Christ, that's a lot.
Yeah. So every time, Rachel, you go around the streets of Redacted and you see the little Tibetan flags, just think
Steven Seagal.
they like Steven Seagal.
Yeah. For mysterious reasons.
That's the way Buddha would have wanted it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Buddha would have wanted a sex criminal and fascist supporter to be a member of his special friend group.
Oh, yeah. So Santos's nonprofit was allegedly called Friends of Pets United, which
that just sounds like a front. Doesn't sound real.
It feels like someone translating like the name of a Soviet spay and neuter organization into English.
Tovarishi of Pets.
The Friends of Pets United. Yeah. So he claimed to rescue 2,400 dogs and 280 cats, and did trap, neuter, and release of 3,000 cats. Which is a lot of stray animals.
A lot. Did he say where?
I don't know. I assume New York, because that's where he is. But I can't imagine
roaming the streets of
3,000
Brooklyn,
cats,
Queens. Yeah, just like one man catching.
Wait, he doesn't imply that like he did it all himself.
No,
does he?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But
that would be all. I'd watch that movie. George Santos,
yeah.
Cat, the great cat detective.
Cat dick chopper offer. That's the screenplay he's working on whenever he's like in the back of Congress, just like idly looking on his phone. What he's actually doing is typing that screenplay.
Yeah. So the IRS, New York and New Jersey have no record of Friends of Pets United ever existing.
It's the human fund. Money for people. It's the Seinfeld bit where George Costanza tries to like get in good with his boss and steal money by creating a fake charity and passing it around the office, and he calls it the human fund. Money for people.
I mean, hey.
I feel like George Santos could have gotten here through a George Costanza-like series of lies, like snowballed beyond his own control.
It's George going to the beach and removing a golf ball from a whale's blowhole because he was trying to convince a woman he was dating that he was a marine biologist.
Oh God, Seinfeld. Yeah. So after claiming the whole thing about the dogs, the highlight of which, as Aaron alluded to, was stealing money from homeless veterans whose dog was dying, he then lied that 4 of his employees died in the Pulse nightclub shooting.
Wow. Which did not know about that.
Which would be a statistically relevant number of people in the Pulse nightclub shooting.
Well, they went there as a company outing.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. We're like, hey, we'll go. Of the 49 people who were shot,
oh my
his
God.
employees were 4?
Well, and of course it doesn't
10%.
matter that it was in Florida, right? That's where the Pulse,
Yeah.
Which...
Well, he lived in Florida for a little bit, I think, right? Because isn't that where he was doing drag?
Still in New York.
Yeah, I think he was in Florida for this time.
Got it. Okay.
None of that is true. No one he knows died in the Pulse nightclub shooting.
Yeah.
Oh Oh, Jesus Christ. He claims that to tie in with this lie, he claims that he's openly gay.
What? He did?
Yeah.
I didn't hear that one.
He is gay, but he has not been open about being gay and was married to a woman.
Okay, that's what I remember hearing. I didn't know that he was actually gay.
I don't know if he actually is or not.
Okay, so that has yet to be confirmed.
But he did file for divorce 12 days before his first congressional campaign.
Wow.
Feels incredible to me.
Oh, man. I hope that lady got all of his shit.
Look, we have to break this off because I have a 5-year plan of lies that I
you don't fit into my 5-year plan. Sorry.
Get your shit out. Clear out your desk at the fake dog charity. I gotta do hand jobs to get into Congress.
I gotta go to every mail in the district of that I'm running in.
Oh, fucking incredible. And he's a huge fan of the Don't Say Gay law. So his particular grift is like, I'm a gay Republican who was married to a woman until 12 days before my campaign. And I don't think we should let the queers talk in classrooms. Truly incredible grift. This pure spite in Rachel's eyes.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's wonderful to see.
Oh.
I have no words.
Yeah, they're really heartrending. Oh, it's the best story in the whole world.
He just keeps
amazing that this is a real story.
Yeah, and we're like not even halfway through the page.
Like if this was a movie, we would not believe it. We would think it's the shittiest movie of all time. If this
did we already talk about the Jewish stuff? I don't remember.
No,
okay,
that's fucking incredible.
Okay, all right, we'll get there.
Yeah, if it was this needs to be a movie. Just like
one day.
We've had so many movies about liars, though.
But like, I feel like this could be like halfway between like Half Baked and The West Wing. Like Aaron Sorkin and Neil Brennan write this. They come together, and it's like Josh Lyman's speeches about like how you're gonna be a fake person. Yeah. So he tells other like boring lies about like running companies worth millions and a family real estate empire, etc., etc.
Classic.
I love all of those because like his first run for Congress, like he didn't have any funds over like $50,000.
Yeah.
Which is still substantial for, humans to have on hand, but still like claiming that he has a real estate empire.
Wait, Shark, are you going to cover why people voted for him or no?
I think that's a good thing to talk about at the end because nobody fucking knows.
Okay, great. Because I'm like, wait, I don't actually know. So cool.
Oh, yeah, it's really great. He also claims that his apartment was robbed as a way to lie. I'm not even sure why he lied about this one. I'm sure there's a reason.
Is it like tough on crime thing because I've experienced it? Do you think that's what it is?
I know the story like centers around the fact that he had to pay back rent to a landlord. And so on his way to pay back rent to a landlord, he claimed to get mugged. But like I don't know how that factors into his campaign at all.
Maybe just getting the sympathy vote. Like, hey, I can relate to you.
It's gotta be a crime thing because Eric Adams, who's now the shitheel mayor of New York, has been running on a tough on crime platform that is straight up draconian and just horrible.
Yeah,
and I know that may have been one reason that New York went as red as it did because he was pushing this narrative that feeds more into Republican voters' minds than it tends to with Democrats, although that's changing now because the Democrats are just shifting ever rightward with every passing day.
Yeah.
Cool. Good and cool.
So very cool. Fake mugging.
Do you think that it's real hard to do that these days. And this is the problem with, having these online payment portals. is you can't say that you got mugged with a check.
Yeah.
Like, what's the alternative? Do you say, oh, I'm sorry, I thought I sent it to you, but it turns out I got a phishing email? That doesn't work.
No.
That's not as good.
We need cyber criminals to come up with easier to fall for lies, is what we're saying.
Yeah.
If you could just like be able to assault me through my screen, that'd be best.
As Rachel leans forward, ominously.
The other truly incredible lie is the drag queen stuff that you were talking about, Aaron. Do you want to break that down for us?
I don't know enough about it, but I think it like at first someone came out saying that, or like photos surfaced or something of Santos in drag, and Santos said, oh, it was, I only did it once, it was at a party. And then it like more photos started coming out for like months afterward. He goes, oh, it was a weird time of my life. And now I think it's been like shown that he was doing it for periodically over the course of like several years.
Yeah.
And I don't know what name he was going by, if he was going by a different name. But
yeah, I don't know if he had, if
like
I haven't heard of that
name or something.
Katara Ravache, which I assume means something I don't understand.
That's memorable right there.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one.
So yeah, the guy who's spreading all of this like anti-gay, anti-trans rhetoric was doing drag for multiple years.
It just makes me think that he's like so extremely closeted. Like that's one avenue
maybe
where my mind goes. It's like that's what
he's gotta be, right? Like
that. I mean, everyone who comes out. Okay, not everyone. That's not true. But like a lot of people
to be bigoted.
A lot of people who are like really against like the LGBTQ community at periods of time, like later.
Yeah.
Again, not everyone, but yeah, they're just like suppressing their own thoughts and feelings.
Yeah. Big sigh on the thoughts and feelings.
I mean, maybe he is. I don't know.
I just love to think that like being a mediocre drag queen was his like Hitler art school moment. That he like sat down in the back of whatever club he was performing at and like ripped off his nipple tassels and was like, I can't do this for one more day. I'm running for Congress in New York.
So George Santos is not his original name.
No, we haven't gotten there yet, but George Santos is not George Santos.
All right. Sorry, go on.
Okay.
All right.
Have you seen the face overlay? Like I think it was like on Twitter, where they do his face with the drag queen's face, and it's like, I mean, obviously it's a match, but like you can't deny it. You can't deny it.
Yeah.
Well, that's why he was like, well, it was just once. It was a rough period of time. Oh yeah, I guess I did it for several years.
Oh yeah, so he's not even,
because that's what he tends to do. Is like people go like, "No, you're lying." And he goes, "Yeah, all right," and then he just moves on with another lie.
Maybe that's why he's been able to do this for all these years, because he's like, "Yep," and
I had a conversation with an ex-friend of mine who was going conservative. I was talking about like Ben Shapiro, and I was like, if I just change everything about myself and become a soulless ghoul who lies all the time, this would be a very easy thing to become famous at. And like, yes, it obviously is.
Yeah.
Like George Santos has proven you can do right-wing grifting if you can like functionally breathe, have a marginalized identity, and vomit nonsense. It's like, holy fuck.
Hit us with more sweet lies.
Yeah. So like Aaron said, he wasn't a drag queen until someone came and said he was a drag queen. And because she saw him once he got elected, or he saw him once he got elected and told everybody he was a drag queen. And then he denied it. And then he admitted it. And then, he quipped when someone said he lied, "Sue me," which is fucking incredible.
The chutzpah, the
Incredible.
brass cojones. Just say sue me.
And part of the reason that he was found out that he lies is because his real name is not George Santos. It's Anthony DeVolder.
Yeah, I did hear about that. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
one of the reasons people found out is because Anthony DeVolder was a user on Wikipedia who claimed to have participated in Brazilian drag shows,
Oh yeah, yeah.
which is fucking incredible.
Oh,
So technically his name is George Santos, but he went by Anthony DeVolder to everybody.
yeah.
In Brazil.
I think just everybody until
Yeah.
2019. Until he told his
Okay,
wife to
cool.
move out because he was running for Congress as a gay man. I assume then he wanted a more Hispanic name.
That would be my guess.
Oh, but we can now pivot into the truly incredible part of the story that Aaron, I'm sure, loves deeply.
Oh yeah.
He claims to be Jewish. And do you want to break this down for us, Aaron?
Well, first he. So I have a problem with my brain where things that I like get pushed out because I find other things that I like about the same subject. So a lot of the details of this are kind of gone. But Santos has claimed to not be Jewish. He's claimed to be Jewish, which is a very lame.
Love.
It's something that stupid people who love mensch on a bench and buy stupid bullshit at Hanukkah that have like little let's get lit with a picture of menorahs. That's the kind of thing that those idiots like to say. So he has claimed that again, his grandmother, because it has to be his grandmother, because if he's going to get the proper like Orthodox authorities in New York to give him a blessing, you have to be halakhically Jewish, which I think we've gone over in one of the episodes. So it has to be matrilineal. So he claimed that his grandmother was actually German Jewish, and she left at the age of like 8 or something, Germany, and then immigrated to Brazil, where she practiced in secret. And some of those like she was a conversa in like 17th century Spain. So
like she was fucking getting the screws put to her by the Inquisition.
So in Brazil, she practiced in secret and he chose he said that she lived in a specific neighborhood, I think in Rio, that is like predominantly Jewish. And he said that she moved there and married a Christian man. And so he doesn't practice, but he's Jewish because it's ethnic. Now, when all of this came out, people started looking into it and asking people who Santos has known. And everyone's like, no, he's never said anything like this before. And I've never seen him do anything that smacks of Jewish. And they started asking around in this neighborhood that's just very tight knit. People know each other. They talk to each other. They go to shul together. And no one has ever heard of his grandmother before because she never lived there. She was a Catholic, like born and raised. And like, I think his family had been in Brazil for a couple of generations before her.
Yeah.
So after all of this came out, I think it was like the Jewish Republicans or something in New York City gave him their their seal of approval.
Oh God.
And after this came out, like, well, we won't be giving him that again, but we're not going to take it away retroactively.
But why? Take it away.
Yeah, no, you can't. No, that admits that's because then you admit that you're wrong. Rachel, how many conversations
Okay,
have we
fair.
had where I am obviously wrong and I know that I'm wrong, but I'm not going to say that?
That's
I
in
don't
fact
know.
an important guiding principle of rabbinical law. Once it's decided, you can't back out.
That's why no shellfish is still a thing.
Yeah.
And there, one of the things that I loved about this was the Yiddish subreddit, which is mainly only active because Yiddish is a thing on Duolingo now. Someone posted like in Yiddish, translated to George Soros or Santos. God damn it, George Santos in the 1908 Yiddish International Convention, and they just like photoshopped an image of him with a bunch. Of
I think I've seen
juice.
that.
Yeah. It's just absolutely insane.
There are two parts of this we definitely need to spend more time on, which is that he addressed the Republican Jewish Coalition Summit.
That's it. Yeah.
And said his election means that there will now be 3 Republican Jews in Congress. That's fucking incredible.
A true milestone.
Yeah.
Now there are 3
Republican Jew.
I have met Republican Jews. They are terrible. You do not want to meet them. They're
terrifying.
Fucking psychotic.
Yeah.
Wait, he said that to that committee,
to that coalition.
Yeah. Just look them all in the eyes and just like, thank you for electing me. I'll be the 3rd Jew.
Did they like clap and then like look
I'm
inward
sure
at their own Jewishness and we're like, what's like, are we not a part of the group or what? Like,
they should have been able to look at George Santos and be like, that's a goy.
Like, and I want to make it clear, the default template in America is often, Ashkenazi Jews of Eastern European origin. That does not blanket statement, but regardless, like even if you convert, like you do it because you like arguing and you like food that tastes weird.
Yeah.
And Santos does not seem like anything that has anything to do with Judaism. This is not a thing of like, oh, he's not Ashkenazi. He doesn't act like Woody Allen. No, that's not what we're saying.
Yeah. Just anyone who wears some of the sweaters he wears
Exactly.
is a wasp. Like you can just look at him and then hold up like you can just feel the Lenny Bruce bit happen in your head at every
Jewish
sweater vest.
Yeah.
Jewish or Goyish?
Jewish. Sweater vest, Goyish. Cardigans, Goyish. Turtlenecks, Jewish.
Shorts, dead of winter, Brooklyn, Jewish.
This is why it's
Cargo
still like
pants, Goyish.
John Fetterman.
Yeah.
At heart, Jewish.
It's fucking incredible. And I don't think Aaron gave enough time to the Jew-ish thing when he was pushed on it. So they were like, you said you were Jewish. And he said, no, I was Jew-ish. Which I love. Because I love a moment when someone looks around, finds all of the myriad possibilities that are contained by the ability to express yourself in language, and chooses objectively the worst one.
Yep.
It's like anti-Shakespearean. It's whatever the opposite of good writing is. And it's art form in and of itself.
It's like, I run into this a lot and I hate it, where if you see something truly embarrassing, like something that makes you just curl inwards and think about all of the things that you have done that are like that.
As the kids say, cringe.
But if you refer to that as just, oh, that's cringe, you're not doing it enough service and you're being lazy as shit. Like,
yeah. And this was a moment we can all relate to, which is like lying about something as a child. And then having your friends find out that you don't actually have a girlfriend you met on vacation.
Yeah.
Or your dad is actually not an astronaut. And then you have to come up with some David Foster Wallace-esque plot scheme to justify it. And it's fucking incredible that you could be like a 35-year-old in Congress and have to do that.
This is my infinite jest to explain why how I totally was really the best person on that roller coaster, even though it looked like I was crying my eyes out.
Exactly. Jewish.
It's just the and I don't even.
Yeah. We had a truly incredible moment where I told Caitlin that, my wife, and she was like, "Did you send that to Aaron? I bet he'd like that." And I was like, "Aaron knows." Aaron. I don't have to send this one to Aaron. He's totally aware.
Oh God.
I don't know how he knows, but he knows.
You felt it in the
You
air.
feel it, yep.
Yeah. The aether just vibrated. You were like, this is the man who bragged about sending a correction to the developers of Pentiment because they missed a letter in the Yiddish typeface they use.
Yeah, he knows the Jewish thing. Aaron is Jewish. Oh yeah.
God.
So fucking good.
Yes.
I figured George Santos was the perfect guy to discuss on this podcast because he claimed to be gay and Jewish. And I think those are the things we as a podcast are qualified to discuss.
Yeah, I think that works.
Yeah, makes sense. I like it. Representation, honestly.
Yeah, George Santos represents us all.
This just really... he is the most woke among us if you really think about it.
Yeah, a Latino gay Jew.
Yeah,
don't get more woke than that.
No, you don't. This is J.K. Rowling's greatest nightmare. She's sitting there in her throne in Glasgow or Edinburgh going, why isn't he in the depths of a bank cavern?
Meanwhile, he's gathered all the infinity stones of marginalized identity and is going to snap his fingers and destroy wokeness in America. Jesus Christ, I hate
God. Then he starts getting, if he went with that line, he would have started getting like right-wing Marvel fans.
Absolutely. I feel like I could be his campaign manager. I love his story enough that I could sell George Santos. If he just like looked dead in a camera and was like, who hasn't fucking lied to get a job? I'm in Congress now. Go fuck yourself, New York. He would be a senator forever.
It's like him and Strom Thurmond tied for the record of longest serving congressman.
Yeah. He'll be fucking speaker. Like, whatever. Dennis Astor fucked a bunch of kids. It's not worse than what Santos did. I'd rather my speaker stole from dying dogs than fuck children.
Yeah.
Those are the options we have. So
those are the options we have. So I guess that is the better choice. I don't. So what lies would you use to get elected?
Every day when I'm feeling incredibly dark inside. Well, no, that Freudian slip was right. I meant to say some days. Every day when I'm feeling incredibly dark inside. I look at someone like George Santos and I just think about opening Google Docs and writing a manifesto about being a part of Portland Antifa and how I was all wrong, and then making $1 million.
Yeah.
$1 million. All of the money in the world as Ben Shapiro just feeds me grapes on a couch. That's my lie. I'd be like, I was a leftist infiltrator who burned down the city of Portland. I tried to kill the mayor. And now, if you subscribe to Daily Wire Plus. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. I feel like you can make a decent amount of money writing screenplays for Daily Wire.
You could. Your creative writing degree.
I know. That's what I was going to go into is like, I bet I could write those. Like I read something about like there was they made a movie with Gina Carano because she flipped out when she was on The Mandalorian, and it was like a Western. And
yeah, it was pretty bad, I hear.
Yeah, and it became too woke for the people for the Daily Wire because she was the protagonist of it.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome. No girls in the Old West.
No girls, they were chained to the cabins on it's the homesmen, but only the homesmen. They did nothing but sit there and swoon and give birth. That is the rule of women in the frontier.
I love these fucking people who are like, especially the women who are and like just like they don't like you. Stop. Like the whole point is they don't like you.
Yeah.
Like Lauren Southern. Do you know her?
I know bits and bobs about her.
She was like a right-wing grifter, and her whole thing was like misogyny is not real. And then she like broke into the S tier of right-wing grifters. And she was like, I go to all these fucking meetings and they won't let me talk and they tell me to shut the fuck up and make them a sandwich. And I was like, that's the whole fucking point. Yeah.
I think for me, it would be the screenplays, or I would vastly overstate my credentials as a small business owner. I was a game developer, and multiple times we outclassed Hasbro for like our the quality and production of our games.
What's your?
I don't have any good lies. I've been trying to think of anything, and I'm like, nothing.
Come on. You're too humble, Rachel.
Yeah. It's not humble.
Well, then exaggerate. Come on. This is the game. Play the game.
I know. I have a wealthy family in Italy, and use their power and influence to go to school there and get in Rome.
I have a humble suggestion.
That's how you become a cardinal.
It's not just wealth. It is a family that is made up of aristocrats, like former dukes and barons, maybe northern Italy or Sicily. But they also
northern
have,
Italy. Not the
northern
mob.
Italy. Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, northern Italy, you have multiple.
Or I could go the mob route. That's a whole nother.
You could too. Yeah. So then you have multiple cousins who are cardinals. And
I like it.
Yeah.
We'll build it out.
Yeah.
Perfect. Oh, so
George Santos.
That's George Santos. Is the question?
So why I think the question Rachel asked earlier is like, why do people vote for this guy?
I have no idea. Like, I really like he was a bad lie. Like, there are all sorts of fucking stupid articles you read about like how he was a good liar, or he was well dressed, or he seemed official, and like he didn't. He wasn't, and he didn't. And he's not good looking, and that's not why people listen to him. And body language expert isn't a real job.
Nope.
And
I also liked the multiple things of him like saying that his campaign was completely made up of small business donors, but every donation was 1 penny under the amount allowed by the SEC or the whatever it is, SEC, I think. And then it coming out like he got $700,000 from some shady European businessman who may be a Russian oligarch.
That wouldn't be too surprising. I just found an article from January 6th. It says, New Yorkers regret voting for George Santos. We feel betrayed.
Well, you fucking schmuck. Don't vote for a Republican. You're fucking assholes.
Like, you voted for the most transparent liar that's ever lied, and you just have to deal with it for 2 years. Just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, just you fucking morons. It's like Rachel and I used to work with a guy who is a solid dude. He's really nice, but he got grifted by Trump. Like, he was a big Trump supporter, and he's also a New Yorker. And it's just like, how do you fall for this? Like, you come from a city that claims to eat people alive. And
I think it's like, well, okay, for Trump though, is definitely the business thing. Even though now
especially
we know, like,
for our mutual guy. Yeah.
Yeah, but like that was a huge driver for so many people. I'm like, well, did you actually like look at his businesses?
And that's the thing, is like a lot of New Yorkers have always hated Trump. Yeah. Because he's a landlord and he's a slumlord.
Doesn't pay his workers, doesn't pay his people.
This is why I will confidently assert that this is an anti-New York podcast.
Still like New York, but my
I
God.
hate every time a New Yorker tells me that if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere.
Well, yeah,
I want to
anyone-
gouge my eyes out.
That's
And
just
then
being an
there's-
asshole. That's
it
like
is-
people who say like Portland is magical. Like you should, sorry, redacted is magical. You should just kill them. Did I tell you about the person I met at a party who was much younger, and she was like claiming she went on this huge like monologue about how she went to Oxford and
Nice.
felt the magic because she was a Harry Potter fan.
Oh,
And
God.
then
I've dated this girl before. I'm 100% sure.
She moved to Redacted and felt the same magic because it's just so magical here.
Oh, God.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep. New Yorkers, they don't know what they're talking about. Rudy Giuliani was their mayor.
That's a good point. The guy who coasted on other lawyers' coattails who actually took down the mob.
Statistically speaking, New York is the easiest place to make it. That's why all the people are there. That's how numbers work. I'm not a big math person, but that feels like a math to me. If there's more people there than anywhere else, it's easier to be.
Remember, if George Costanza can make it there, you can make it there.
Yeah. That's why he got elected, because New York is bad, and this is an anti-New York podcast.
Yeah. Do you think it has something, well, okay, yes, a lot to do with the media and journalists not pushing back on his statements?
I think that's going to go into a future episode. Like, we have to eventually talk about like how stupid local media has become because it's been consolidated to like 3 dudes who are all right wing.
I'm sure they were like super fucking busy making listicles about like the 10 best themed pizza restaurants in Brooklyn or some fucking bullshit like that.
Yep. 10 best new fusion restaurants in your neighborhood.
Like just
these warning signs are signs that you need to sell and move off the block.
Like it's an incredible sign that democracy is
alive and
has never existed and is existing less now.
And just remember, Shark, Italy has the first female prime minister. So girl boss, and we finally made it, ladies.
Oh, good Lord.
That just made me think of Jacinda, what's her last name? The New Zealand Prime Minister.
Ardern?
Yes, thank you. She announced her resignation and was like, you are literally a leader in every single way, and why can't there be more people like you?
Because they don't succeed.
They don't make it. Yeah, no. I know. They don't.
Like Jacinda did. I don't know how she did. I mean, good.
Well, because New Zealand is
because she personally went to everybody's home in New Zealand.
There are 17 people in New Zealand. One of them is Taika Waititi.
Yeah, and she went to all of their houses and pet their sheep, and that's how she got elected.
I did hear that she went around to Maori, like a Maori community, and like apologized in the traditional Maori way for like New Zealand colonizing somewhere. I don't remember exactly details, but I was like she did the full what's the word, like ceremony type thing, and people really respected her for it. So I was like,
so cool. She did something more than like what the Democrats did, where they threw like a kente cloth over themselves one day and then did nothing else. Do you remember that, Shark?
Yeah.
You remember that, Rachel?
I do.
Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah. It was more than her. It was also, I think Chuck Schumer did it.
I in fact remember lying in my bed and redacted my entire right side black and blue from a rubber bullet and looking at that photo of Nancy Pelosi kneeling in kente cloth. And that was my Joker origin story. I was like, I can't fucking do this anymore.
And now that seems so far away.
Yeah. What a simpler time.
I occasionally look back and I think of how I've changed over my life. And I think back to when Obama got elected, and I was in a bar in Knoxville and people were like ecstatic and emotional. And we were giving each other high fives and hugs because we weren't going to have McCain and Palin in office.
Oh God.
And it's like,
About that.
God, what a fucking life it's been.
Oh, that's what's cool about living.
And now I'm
the Weimar. You get to like really,
yeah.
You get to watch the downfall.
So I'm sorry, Shark. You can't. People don't know what that is, so you have to say that we're in the Roman Republic.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's collapsing.
Yeah,
because people know what Rome is, they don't know what Weimar means.
That's fair. Yeah,
that's why Slate publishes an article about the Roman Empire falling every year, and why I always get at least one message about it, being like, "Oh, do you think this is true?"
No.
No, you can't make that analogy. That's not valid.
Rome fell over the course of like 300 years of Messian fighting.
And you could also argue that it continued in the East, in Constantinople, for a long time until the 15th century.
Unlike what we're doing now, Rome falling was cool as shit.
Yeah, because then you had a bunch of chill Germanic people, just taking over Italy. And it turned into a lot of cool art, and it's why we have the game Pentiment now.
And fucking the fall of Rome had Julius Caesar, whereas we have George Santos.
Yeah. And Donald Trump.
Fucking brothers Grocki who took over the center of the town, and we're like, we're going to be nice to poor people. Whereas we have Joe Biden falling down airplane stairs.
And Pete Buttigieg, who refuses to do anything against the airline companies who have been running rampant.
Who'd have fucking thought that running a town with the population of like one block of LA qualify you to run global logistics?
Shocking, right?
Like, I'm more qualified because I listen to Well, There's Your Problem Senator than fucking Pete Buttigieg is. Whatever the fuck his stupid name is.
But Mayor Pete, Mayor Pete was a consultant for one of the big four.
Oh, yeah.
And to do that, you have to have brains. Because you got to turn around PowerPoint decks real quick.
Yeah. You have to have the lower body strength necessary to climb up those piles of dead third world children.
Exactly.
And without that, you can't be Secretary of Transportation.
Yeah. No.
I don't have the core strength.
Yeah. That's what it takes to succeed in this dog-eat-dog world of ours.
Oh, well, now that we've darkly talked about Santos for an hour, do you guys know who Nick Adams is?
This rings a bell.
He is the single greatest person on the internet right now.
I don't think so.
And he is. So the thesis of this show is that parody is dead, etc., etc. And if you took that thought and made it into a human, that is Nick Adams. He is the funniest person on the internet, and he doesn't know it.
I just Googled his face. His face is familiar.
I'm going to post a thing in chat. Is this the guy?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so the thing I posted in is from Wikipedia, because I know the name. I don't know anything about him. But Adams came to public attention on March 3rd, 2017, when Donald Trump made favorable comments and tweets about his work. Notably, a tweet promoting Adams' book, Green Card Warrior.
Yep. So he is a guy who says he's a best-selling author who's endorsed by Trump. He's the president of an organization called One Flag USA. He was born in Australia, where he cut his teeth in politics as a guy trying to make Halloween a national holiday.
Yes! Australia is just America, but fewer people and more overtly racist.
Yeah. He's big into like the alpha male grift.
Yeah.
Which is why I started this by asking you your alpha male influencer monologue.
All right, fair enough. I
Um,
thought that was because of first-person shooters and Twitch, but okay.
no, he and all of his tweets are incredible. He is the best poster on the internet who isn't Drill.
I was gonna say, if you're besmirching Drill,
Yeah. He doesn't know. Drill knows he's the best poster,
okay,
but this is like if you, Aaron, suddenly discovered that you had Michael Jordan-esque basketball skills only when you weren't trying to play basketball. He's like incredible. He's
okay.
legendary, and I love him. Um, and I just want to read some of my favorite Nick Adams tweets to you.
Yeah, let's go.
Sure.
So to start us off gently, one of his greatest tweets that I love is raise your children to be like Kid Rock and Kyle Rittenhouse, not Taylor Swift and Harry Styles.
Jesus Christ.
So who is Harry Styles?
He's a musician. He's
What
fine.
What does he do?
Well, he's actually now gotten into acting, and I think he's just become like he has very dramatic fashion choices.
Is this the guy who I think back when I was still checked Twitter, there was a thing about him saying like he doesn't understand why gay relationships on screen have to be so overt about sexuality.
I don't know.
I think if that was Nick Adams, it'd be way more insane.
No, Harry Styles.
Oh.
And it was like something like, "Where's the tenderness?" Isn't that Harry's Styles? I don't know if that was him.
I have no idea, but he was in One Direction. That was the band that he was in the very beginning.
That guy. All right.
Yeah, but he likes to wear like a lot of feminine clothes, which is fine.
Sure. One Direction. That's an English band, right?
Yeah, they're just like the Beatles. If anyone ever asks you, Aaron.
All right. Cool.
The other thing that Nick Adams is he's on he'd be like Kyle Rittenhouse, not Taylor Swift.
Now I would encourage people, like if I had a daughter, I would say, yeah, I mean Taylor Swift, she lives a comfortable life.
Yeah.
And she's
international pop sensation Taylor Swift, multiple Grammy winner, or guy who shot someone in a darkened parking structure. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? Oh, if you want to, so you probably know Nick Adams from the Eminem thing.
Yes. Oh my God.
That's where you know this guy from.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because the M&Ms became girls, and now we're mad.
And now we don't even have them anymore. Now it's Maya Rudolph or whatever.
I didn't follow much of this. He wasn't on my radar. Do you know what happened there, Rachel? Can you break that down for me?
Yeah. Well, okay. I don't remember exactly, but there was. Damn it, where did it go? Oh, yeah, here it is.
Yeah, I literally only have this from Nick Adams' perspective, because otherwise I don't care.
Okay, no, I just have like what happened with the Maya Rudolph. And so Eminem's just said that they're replacing their spokes candies with her. But you can keep going about George Santos said.
Yeah.
Nick Adams.
Yes. Jesus Christ.
No, he's in your head now. You're going to be dreaming about George Santos tonight, Rachel.
If you hear his name 3 times, he assumes your identity and runs for Congress, and you're just
and at some point during your dream, he will turn to you and say, "What are you going to do? Sue me?"
Yeah. He's a big Kid Rock guy, is Nick Adams. He claims that he should have won an Oscar for Best Original Song. I have no idea what song he would be eligible for, but
it's got to be like Armageddon or some shit.
I feel like if you hear the phrase and the Oscar goes to Kid Rock, you have to just bulldoze whatever building that is with everyone inside it.
Yeah, the Hollywood Bowl must be destroyed at that point. Like,
yeah,
I mean, it's the Oscar list right now is bad enough. Like Elvis is nominated for Best Picture. Avatar 2 is nominated for Best Picture. Yeah. They won't win, but they're still nominated. This is Aaron's
We will
Oscar
see,
recap.
Aaron. We will see.
There is absolutely no way Baz Luhrmann is going to get a second Oscar. He already got his with Moulin Rouge, which I can't stand because it's a musical. And there's no way he's going to get Elvis. And no, he also got wait, didn't he do Slumdog Millionaire? Was that Baz Luhrmann?
I have no idea.
No. Who was that? Slumdog Millionaire.
About that movie.
That was Danny Boyle, another strange English director who I don't like. All right, we're not talking about that though.
So aside from his love from Kid Rock, he has a deep hatred for Taylor Swift. He has tweeted, Taylor Swift needs to spend less time with her cats and more time with an alpha male.
What the fuck?
I don't know what that means.
What the fuck?
He doesn't know what Taylor Swift does in her, personal time.
I am sure that Taylor Swift,
I'm sure she doesn't, but
is just running through dudes who look like they could bench press a medium-sized sedan. Like, I'm fucking sure of that.
It's likely.
Yeah. Like they all have to be so hot.
She's
Taylor
also
Swift.
Probably on great terms with her cats.
You can do both.
Yeah. She seems like she would be a good pet owner, I say, knowing nothing about her.
I have never liked her, but the fact that Nick Adams hates her makes me like her.
That might be why. Like, the people dislike her, and these are people who are horrible. So, she did that thing, but it's going to go nowhere. I was going to say, like, oh, she brought Ticketmaster to people, but that's not going to go anywhere. I have a gripe and a complaint that I would like to lodge with the universe. Gojira and Mastodon are touring. Both of these are bands that I love. They are coming to Portland. It is the first stop on their tour.
Oh,
I'm not gonna fucking go because the tickets are $90 goddamn to get into general admission. Because Ticketmaster is like doubling the price in service fees and bullshit.
Ew.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible.
What's the venue?
It's fucking Moda Center, and it sucks anyway.
Yeah,
so I hate going there. It's that or like that and Roseland are the worst places in town.
I saw the Killers at the Moda Center this past summer, and it was a really great show, actually. But yeah, I didn't love being at the Moda Center. Traffic was awful.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah. I live near there, and I could take the train easy, but I'm not going to. That's my gripe.
Put your foot down.
Plan. Yeah. No, fuck that. I have gone to every Mastodon show for the last 5 years.
You protested.
Oh.
No more.
You have declared it.
Beyond this line, this aggression will not stand.
You will fight Ticketmaster on the beaches.
We will fight them in the beaches. We will fight them in the fields and the streets. We will never surrender. It's my perfect Churchill impression. So I think that little rant and complaint are dedicated to Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Congrats, Taylor Swift.
Do you know she sold a quarter of all vinyls sold last year?
That makes total sense to me.
Yeah.
But if you were listening to Nick Adams, you would know that Kid Rock is the greatest American musician of all time.
Now, Rachel,
something he has tweeted.
As another Michigander, what are you? Can you? We've talked about Kid Rock before, but can you elucidate more about your thoughts?
Yeah. It's a very divisive topic in Michigan. Well, not divisive topic. It's like some people still really, really, really love him. And if you're from Romeo, you say, I'm from Romeo. That's where Kid Rock is from. Like, that's, you got to include that part. Same thing with, anyway, it doesn't matter. And then there's like another group where, mostly like the Democrats and more leftists, and they will not have the same response. So
now, you yourself, would you say that you ba with to ba to bang diggy diggy?
Absolutely
no,
not.
No, absolutely not. No.
I just, I think back to when I was in middle school and Little Nicky came out, and that was a soundtrack filled with just butt rock and nu metal. And that was a dark time for culture. It was a dark time for Aaron.
That seems right.
No
Kid Rock.
Ba with to ba to bang. I got
So now that we've moved out of the
It's so
way,
sad.
My grandmother was very confused when I was playing that song, and she had no idea what was going on. And she would turn to my mom, and she would say, "Shouldn't this be verboten?" And that is how I learned
Yes.
German. This is my first
Yes,
word.
it should.
Yeah.
Oh. So outside of Kid Rock, Nick Adams posts about Hooters, golf, and misogyny. We'll touch on all these topics.
Same.
Yeah. My favorite tweet that combines two of them is that, quote, can't there be a par 3 course set aside for the slow female golfers so they don't clog up the courses on the weekends?
Oh my God.
There's no reason women should be allowed to slow down the pace of play.
Motherfucker.
Jesus.
You set up a perfect self-deprecating joke with that. And it would be like, can't there be a par 3 course where people just really don't give a shit, but have to go to make appearances, and then you just go, I don't know.
Just like,
who aren't good at this.
do you not like? Has anyone
We're there to
complained
drink.
about the
There to
pace
drink.
of play in golf?
Yeah. No, it's I like the sport of baseball. Like every year the MLB gets worse and worse and like more reprehensible. It's nowhere near as bad as the NFL, but it's still bad. But yeah, it's like there's a trend in MLB's management to try and speed up the game because they're complaining about it. It's like, well, then you're missing the point of baseball, which is you just hang out for a few hours and drink.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
it's supposed
the
to take
game
a
is
long
fun
time.
to watch and you can talk about it, but it's also you hang out and drink.
It's a game we made before we had clocks so that we
Yeah.
could hang out and drink for a set period of time.
Exactly. And it's the same thing with golf. Like,
Yeah.
my dad loves golfing for some reason. He's terrible at it. And whenever I ask him about how like his golf is going, he's like, "Oh, I'm terrible." But he likes it because it's just, it's space to go chill out for a long time.
There's nothing more
Mhm.
human than getting
You're
drunk in a
outdoors.
field.
Yeah. It's not a competitive sport, is what
No.
we're saying.
Yeah, you don't need it to be faster.
Mm-mm.
You are literally walking through a park.
Yeah. You don't even have to walk. You get the carts.
Fucking ride a cart.
Yeah. And then there are other people with carts and they have beer.
Yeah. He recently tweeted out the latest issue of The Joker, The Man Who Stopped Laughing comic book, features
pregnant
a
Joker
scene where the Joker, a man, becomes pregnant.
All right.
That's not how it works. Exclamation point. I am calling for a complete and total boycott of the Joker until further notice. What's next? A fully electric Batmobile?
Oh my God.
I'm going to explain the context of that one because I had to look into it and I know vaguely
Yeah,
who
I
these
don't
characters
understand.
are. So there's another character in the DC universe. I don't know if she's in the movies, but she's called Zatanna and she's like a magician. And Joker pissed her off because he's the Joker. So she just, "You're pregnant now." And so
That's
I forget,
fun.
something happens where, like, I don't know if they've resolved that arc, but yeah, in the comic, Joker's like 6 months pregnant.
Oh my God. Okay.
If you read comics,
Fantastic.
it's one of the least batshit things that has ever happened. These are nerds producing thousands of pages of content like a year.
Look at anything Jack Kirby wrote about Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Like Jack Kirby was he was the guy who made a lot of the stuff that Stan Lee gets credit for. And Kirby never did acid, but he was an artist and kind of like character writer who made stuff that was just like Jimi Hendrix album covers. And he would do things like, the movie The Eternals that came out. I didn't see it, but it was a thing. And the original thing is these super beings are there because there was really before them a race of robots and they had to create life on every different planet in order to stop the massive robot. And comics are insane.
Yeah. Fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Like,
So yeah, Nick
Just like
Adams
one-
just weighing in on bullshit that trans agenda.
Yeah, he's not trans in the comic.
No,
He's
No,
just
he-
a man that got made pregnant.
by magic.
Yeah.
And it's specifically spite magic.
Yeah. Nick Adams tweeted on the 6th of January that the best job a man can have is being a cook at Hooters.
All right, hold on. So was on the 6th of January part of the tweet?
No, he just
Okay.
tweeted on
right.
January 6th
Okay,
of this
all right.
year.
All right.
This is what was on his mind.
Okay. That's I mean, that's crazy, but it's like less baffling than the alternative.
Good clarifying question, sure.
Yeah. He was just thinking on the anniversary of people storming the Capitol. You know, I think I'd love to be a cook at Hooters.
Shark.
Maybe
all
he
right.
was at Hooters. Maybe he was there and he's like,
Maybe.
you know what?
He's
Yeah.
huge
I
into
guess, you know,
Hooters.
So I have been to Hooters twice in my life, and both times it's been very depressing.
I can't imagine a place you would like less. It's scientifically engineered to be.
I mean,
Aaron
the
Simon
entire
food.
city of Las Vegas is a city I like, a place I like less than Hooters.
It's a giant Hooters, so I hope.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I've actually never been to one, but I have been to a Twin Peaks, which is similar.
Yeah, I've been to one of those before.
It was okay. They had nice cold beer and lots of big sports TVs, so
The beer was too cold.
not mad at it.
The beer was
too
way
cold.
too. Yeah,
They keep it at the perfect temperature, Aaron.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you want to numb your tongue to the point where you can't take, I ordered a Guinness, and like the glass came out like an ice brick.
Well,
That's not how you drink Guinness.
Guinness should always be served
Okay.
warm by a man whose children don't talk to him. That's how you serve
Exactly.
Guinness.
well,
i.e.
that,
the
that's
Banshees of
your fault
Inisherin,
for ordering a
great
Guinness.
movie. What else am I gonna fucking order? I'm not gonna order like a goddamn Miller Lite.
No, like I don't know.
Those are the two beers for Aaron Simon. Guinness and Miller Lite.
There are other options nowadays,
Like,
Aaron.
I'm not gonna order a fucking Budweiser. This was
No, you don't have to.
there-
They have like beer on tap that's like craft local beer.
the options at the place that I was at, which was in rural South Carolina, immediately after
okay.
a friend's funeral reception.
Wait, what?
Okay.
You went to a titty bar after a friend?
So
It's
all
what
right.
he would have wanted.
No, he would have hated it. So he was a good
Is
friend
that
of
better or
mine
worse?
who died unexpectedly, and he was on
Oh, I'm
weird
sorry.
terms with his family.
I feel bad
It's-
about making fun
I
of
know,
him.
I take
No,
it back.
no. You should make fun of his family because they're weird, and they probably don't. So we went, and his sister was dealing with a lot, obviously, and like being a lesbian in rural South Carolina / Georgia had working through some issues.
I understand
and
this more
new-
now.
And knew people who worked there, like cooks. And
it.
The
that
best
was like,
job.
yeah, and there was like the only bar that they had. So we went there and drank our sad beers in silence, like her, me, and one of her friends.
Well, I feel bad now.
That's a
You
big
should.
moment. There's a
should.
lot to unpack there.
There's a lot to unpack there. I choose to latch on to the fact that the Guinness was ice cold because that is the one that requires the least amount of therapy.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Also, I would like to lodge a complaint that the name of this bar chain is Twin Peaks, which obviously I know what it refers to, but it is not about the David Lynch show,
Mhm.
which is a shame and an insult.
Those would be better themed bars.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you go, your waiter speaks backwards
Yeah.
and like does like a weird dance every time they come up. Like, you like, I will be back in 25 years. And you don't see them for an hour.
But it's somehow still a titty bar.
Yeah, but every like person, they're all like the David Lynch woman.
Yeah.
Like they all look like Naomi Watts. is
Yeah,
what-
exactly. Oh. Nick Adams also tweeted, if you support wind farms and eat seafood, you are a woke beta hypocrite.
Support wind farms and eat seafood.
Also, I mean, that's one part. And then it took me a second to parse it, Rachel. So you might have already caught it, but that's one part. The second part is you are a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Yes.
Woke beta
Okay, you got
hypocrite.
that. I did not get that
Yes.
until just now. Because the windmills are in the sea?
I assume so.
That's what I'm gathering.
I don't know how it
Because there
connects.
has to be construction? And that hurts fish? I don't know.
I also
It's
don't know
like
why
a
it
random
makes-
idea generator that just put those two words together.
Nick Adams is Chat GPT.
You know, that would make a lot of sense for like the things that he talks about.
He's the best poster. Like, I don't know what that means. How does it make me woke to support wind farms and eat seafood?
Well, all right, wind farms are green energy.
Okay, I'm with you so far. Eating seafood.
Seafood. All right, true men, shark,
Eat terrestrial mammals.
no, specifically ham, but like ham and bacon,
yeah.
And then just giant cuts of steak.
And if your jaws aren't strong enough for steak, you eat tilapia like some
That must be it.
kind of
Yeah.
coastal bitch.
Exactly. That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Which also makes you a beta.
Yes.
And-
Because alpha males eat nothing but red meat.
Yeah. Like that dude who was on a bunch of steroids.
Yeah. So I don't know if it was widespread, but I've got a good friend in England who introduced me to the term bacon, meaning specifically, oh, that guy's just pure bacon. And it is a man like Nick Adams who presents uber macho but has nothing to back it up. So he is pure bacon.
Now,
And I think
like
it comes from like bacon sandwiches.
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I have to share my screen for a moment for this next one.
All right. What is
Yes.
this?
Let's do it.
No.
Can you
No.
Can you see the tweet here?
Yes.
Could you describe the tweet to me?
Rachel, take it.
It's like, hold on, I have to mimic this movement.
right.
So it's like,
And first you also have to point out his specific handle, like his @ because that is important.
Nick Adams in USA. And then his name is Nick Adams, parentheses, alpha male.
Yes.
So he's sitting on a motorcycle, like how a woman would used to sit side saddle on a horse.
Yes, exactly.
And then he has his like ankle on his thigh. So it makes me feel like ankle on the thigh, hand in front of his crotch, and hand on the motorcycle, wearing tan khaki pants, a salmon button up, and a blazer.
And cowboy boots.
I missed the cowboy boots. Thank you.
And his position of his hand on the Harley is like someone putting their hand on like their
Like a little
partner's
kid's
thigh.
shoulder.
Well, yeah, like on a kid's shoulder or like a partner's like thigh if they're sitting together on a couch or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
He also looks like he's full grabbing his dick and balls.
Yeah.
And his neck is gone. He has no neck.
Yeah.
It's
And
just
he's
sitting
got
on his
what
shoulders.
only describe as the DreamWorks smile.
Yeah.
You know, like the weird thing that all of the animated characters have. And his haircut sucks.
Oh, the haircut's the worst. It makes his head look like it's angular.
It's like a cone head. It's a cone head with the top of the cone chopped off.
And what is this photo caption?
We come from France.
This is how an alpha male sits on a Harley. That is so disgusting.
Now, I would also point out that it appears that the Harley has a police shield on it.
I noticed that. I was wondering what that
I didn't
was.
catch that. It does look.
Oh, that's even
that.
better.
Yeah.
That's even better.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Very funny.
Wait, are you gonna?
now my exposure to Harleys is pretty limited. I have a neighbor a couple doors down who drives a Harley, and every day at about 3:30 he peels into the apartment parking lot blaring like an oldies station, and it's always something like A Horse with No Name,
Nice.
or The Doors, just blaring, coming crystal clear through my shitty windows and a door with a slight crack in it.
That's how an alpha male rides a Harley.
Yeah.
Oh.
He would hate Nick Adams.
Yes. Another incredible Nick Adams tweet. Hooters stayed bussin' through the Iraq War and Barack Hussein Obama's recession. If 9/11 couldn't bring down Hooters, there's not a chance in hell Joe Biden can, comma, no cap. Alpha males stan Hooters. When I
that sounds like it was written by AI. Yeah, just like pulling.
Yeah. When I tell you he's the best poster, I'm not kidding. Like,
first question.
Yeah.
What has the Biden administration done?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah,
Second
I'd like
question.
clarification on that.
Does this mean that Biden cannot also stop Chili's, Fridays?
No, he's very
Applebee's?
against. Nick Adams is very against Chili's, as you would.
Why
know if
is
you were up
he
on the lore?
Why?
Because as he tweeted, Chili's offers a 2 for $20 deal, and real alpha men don't take deals on their apps. You pay full price. Fucking cut.
All right, so
that's a real tweet of his.
There is a death metal band called Necrogoblicon that is quote unquote fronted by John Goblin, who is a dude who runs around stage in a goblin mask and quote unquote sings during songs. And the John Goblin account on Twitter just does nothing but Chili's promotions.
Nice.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah. No, Necrogoblicon is pretty fun.
Necrogoblicon. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Nick Adams also posted, "Put down the Fortnite. Pick up a Bible and a hacky sack."
Not like jacks or, you know, a hoop and a stick or like.
Real youth pastor energy right there.
He's the best follow on Twitter who isn't drill. Oh, get your 10-year-old all hyphenated one word. An AR-15 and a Tim Tebow jersey for Christmas.
Is Tim Tebow still around?
This post was in 2020. This post was like weeks ago. So, no.
And this is after this. Was this after or before the 6-year-old brought a gun to a school and shot a couple of people?
After.
Hell yes. Kyle Rittenhouse, murderer 6-year-old.
Tim Tebow.
Tim Tebow.
Oh, he's great. He's incredible. He also put together the worst possible musical lineup I've ever heard. He tweeted, "Musicians more talented than Taylor Swift."
Really doesn't like Taylor Swift.
He hates
I know, really something against her, yeah.
The list goes Lee Greenwood.
I don't know who that is.
Good.
Jason Aldean.
Oh.
No.
Morgan Wallen.
No.
All right. I don't know who that is.
He's a country artist.
Okay.
Kid Rock, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Ted Nugent.
The Nuge.
Gene Simmons. And Wayne Newton.
Wayne Newton?
Which is like a festival you're forced to see in hell.
Yeah. Oh my god.
It's whatever the opposite of Coachella is.
You can't even go with
that's like a Trump rally.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the opener is Jason Aldean, followed by Lee Greenwood, all building up to the big Wayne Newton finale?
Jesus. You know, this is not Wayne Newton. Wayne Newton was in Fallout New Vegas, so it all goes back to New Vegas.
Yeah, exactly.
He was the radio announcer, Rachel. If you play the game, which you will, I will make you play this game at gunpoint. He is the radio announcer who is really a robot that is just playing hit after hit from the 40s and 50s. Anyway,
Wow.
the better Wayne Newton is Tom Jones. And the only reason Tom Jones is the better Wayne Newton is because Tom Jones was in Mars Attacks.
You've completely lost me.
Yeah. Oh.
So yeah. Sorry, Aaron.
I'm used to it. It's fine. I'm a very relatable person. Everyone knows what I'm talking about all the time. I fire up Pentiment and talk to my monk friends.
And I'll leave us with one more Nick Adams tweet in an effort to convince everyone to follow Nick Adams. He's the best comedian alive. He just doesn't know it yet. It's a Truman Show situation. And we need to tell him. The metric system is socialist and must be wholly rejected in the USA. China, North Korea, and Canada dash some of the most despotic and oppressive nations on earth dash use the metric system.
Yeah, no, that's right. Canada, a country that is propped up by oil money and the blood of First Nations people, is one of the most despotic and socialist countries in the world.
Like China,
North Korea,
and Canada. 3 very different countries.
Incredibly different.
Like, maybe the most different countries.
You say that, but Shark, because you are a true Maoist, that any day now, Xi Jinping is just going to flip the switch and they're going to go full communism.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you know that. That's how it works.
It's all about slow playing communism.
Yeah, I mean, and then, the only cultural relevancy in that glorious People's Republic will, of course, be the Spider-Man 2 review written by the Maoist International organization. Is a thing of wonder.
Yep. Before I leave you, he's currently gone on a crusade against A&W root beer.
Why? Have you ever had A&W root beer?
No.
Have you, Rachel?
In my youth, at some point.
Never have.
They have a mascot named Rudy the Great Root Bear.
Which
literally no one knew.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
They announced that Rudy was going to go from pantsless to wearing jeans. I don't know why. They said it was polarizing to have a pantsless bear. It feels like it probably wasn't.
I mean,
Disney has been doing that for years with like Donald Duck.
Winnie the Pooh. Yeah. I feel like A&W really didn't need to put pants on the bear.
The only thing about polarizing about bears is polar bears.
Recording stop.
Wait, did they put pants on the bear before he tweeted at them? Or was it not related?
Put pants on the bear. And then Nick Adams tweeted, it starts with A&W forcing Rudy the Root Bear to wear pants, and it ends with the government arresting alpha males for man-spreading in public.
It's not where I thought he was going to go with that.
And then he posted multiple videos of himself purchasing A&W root beer and pouring it into various drains in his home.
That's how you show a company.
That means something, yeah.
What they're doing wrong is by buying their product.
Oh my God.
And then he posts lots of photos of mug root beer and their pantsless dog mascot.
Well, here's the thing, is I am opposed to dogs and clothes. Because if God had wanted dogs to wear clothes, then clothes would look like they are for dogs, but they're not.
That's a Tanakh.
That's a Tanakh, exactly. It's Leviticus chapter 73, verse 92 to 95.
Yeah.
Prove me wrong.
No one's read it. You can't.
Barry doesn't have clothes.
He wouldn't allow it anyway.
No, he would steadfastly refuse.
Wait, Shark, do you have the M&M one?
I'm sure I can pull it up really quickly. It was also deranged.
What is this? Was this about like the desexification of the lady M&M?
Yeah, well, just because they had an all lady M&M package, and the yellow and red M&M wasn't on there.
Yeah, he tweeted, "Not one M&M will pass my lips until Mars issues a formal apology and releases an all-male package of M&Ms to demonstrate their commitment to gender equality."
Yeah, this one says M&Ms have gone woke. Mars, the company behind M&Ms, launched a nuclear strike in the war on men by unveiling a package with only the female M&Ms. This is sexist and not inspirational at all, in caps. We must boycott M&Ms until the alpha male M&Ms get their own exclusive package.
What is the alpha male M&M? Like, is it the peanut M&M because they're bulkier, but not the peanut M&M because he looks like he's just kind of fat?
Yeah, I don't know. And he's always been the sidekick anyway.
Yeah,
so, like,
he's always
been
kind of the doofusy dude. I don't think that. What are the personalities of the M&Ms? At what point are you going to start screaming about Raisinets because they're?
He tweeted siren emoji, alpha male challenge, all caps, siren emoji. 1, go to your local grocery store and purchase the largest bag of M&Ms you can find.
And support the business.
2, destroy the bag of M&Ms you purchased and do not let one pass your lips. 3,
what's up with pass your lips with this guy?
3, take a photo of your crushed woke M&Ms and post it on social. Make sure you tag Mars.
All right, so between these two guys, is Nick Adams the one who is doing a very successful and funny bit? Who is the bigger grifter, I guess, is the question.
It's like Nick Adams.
I would say George Santos. Sorry, go on, Shark.
Yeah, no, I would also say George Santos.
Okay. But do you think Nick Adams believes what he's saying?
I can't think that anyone does.
Okay.
It's the most insane. He also, I didn't mention it on the podcast, he has literally the worst takes about football I've ever seen.
Nice.
What? All right. I asked this as someone who is completely ignorant of football. What does that mean?
He has a whole thread about how Urban Meyer is a great coach, a man who washed out of the NFL because literally everyone he ever talked to hated him. Like literally everyone.
Urban Meyer, who is it?
He was the former Ohio State coach.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's why we hate him.
Got it. All right.
But there's also some, I think, bad news. I don't know what it was. Negative. That came out about him.
Now, if Urban Meyer had coached a team called the Bad News Bears, would your opinion be different?
Yes.
All right.
He also tweeted that Joe Burrow used to be good at football. Joe Burrow is still good at football, but he says that he isn't good at football anymore because of last year's woke halftime show, which magically made Burrow into a cuck beta who was going to lose to the Buffalo Bills last weekend. He did not, by the way. He won. But the Super Bowl did some weird homosexual alchemy that made Joe Burrow into a beta lib.
Yeah, for sure. I can believe that. 100%.
This reminds me of, there was a bit in, I think, the second season of Kimmy Schmidt where
it's a good show.
Yeah, it's a great show where I can't remember her name, but the older woman is dating the son of like the owner of the Washington Redskins. This is before the name change, and convinces them to change the name to like the Washington AR-15s or something.
Oh my God.
to try and nip the discourse about Redskins in the bud by going the opposite direction.
Oh my God.
This is where we launch my new national campaign. Washington football team was the greatest name in sports. It It was a postmodern genius poetic move that should in no way have ever changed.
No.
It was the best name, and the Commanders sucks. Washington football team was awesome. It was what Camus would have named a football team. And it should have stayed the Washington football team. To your congressman.
I kind of feel the same about baseball because there was a perfectly named team, and it was the Montreal Expos. And they were named the Expos because they played in a stadium that was constructed for an exposition of like how great Montreal was.
Oh,
they just played in a dome. And
well, do you know what their mascot was?
I do not. And MLB tanked it because they were the owners of the team and wanted them to move to Washington, D.C.
Wow.
Yeah. So that is why there's only one Canadian
couldn't let Montreal
baseball team. No, now it's Toronto Blue Jays. Nothing good comes out of there.
That is weird that there's only one team from Canada.
Well, there used to be two.
It's MLB's fault. Yep.
Soon there might be a team in Redacted if
I'll believe it when I see
it has their way. It's never going to happen.
I don't think so.
Because they keep saying that Lloyd Center is going to turn into the baseball stadium, but Lloyd Center keeps hanging on for inexplicable reasons.
You can't get rid of the ice rink, Aaron.
Yeah, people say that. Who cares? It's a fucking ice rink.
I mean, I know, but people
like it. Gotta keep Redacted weird, right? And it's magical here. It's like Harry Potter.
Some say.
And this all comes full circle because Nick Adams hates George Santos. Is how I wrap up the podcast. Do you want to guess why he hates George Santos?
Because of the drag.
Absolutely, because of the drag. George Santos, he's fine.
But he only did it for a little bit.
He was fine with all George Santos until he found out George Santos was a groomer.
I'm fine with the lies. I'm fine with the embezzlement. Fine with stealing from homeless people.
And dogs.
I'm fine with the stolen gefilte fish, Fowler. But the drag, that's
where I draw the line. Listener, here's an hour and 40 minutes of shit I like on the internet.